The score is currently 2-2. Norway really taking a strong lead here. Next up, NTR versus Falula. It's going to be Hunter for Israel versus Malagos Druid for Norway. And now, this is going to be Israel's big chance to come back into the series. Hunter should be the favourite here. It should be the favourite there. Did you see Falula there just taking a big sort of sigh or big intake ready to steel himself up for this? It's a lot of pressure. It's interesting because he's a streamer, he's a host, he's a caster, he's a student. He does basically everything, and he's saying that next year he's going to be even better. Obviously, I said earlier he didn't start even playing until
he's also an
Old
innkeeper.
Gods. He's a
innkeeper.
Okay, so he definitely should be used to dealing with Zorkthar and the boys. Yeah, without a doubt. NTR has Wild Growth in his opening hand, but Israel has Houndmaster Shore, Devil's Sword Egg, and Play Dead. It's not looking like the worst opening hand I've ever seen for her. Oh, what is going on? Here's some mana. Please make cards. NTR, the sometimes forgotten member of Nordavind, but quietly took a top 16 at Italy. He didn't play that much at the start of the year in terms of the standings, but as soon as he started getting into the events, he's already placing pretty well. He was the Norwegian national champion last season. Okay. So Zorkthar is currently. And most of these are, as I said before, Norwegian national champions anyway, because they played with BX3, which became Nordavind, and they just kept winning that event. Yes. So yeah, NTR, probably the player that you'll hear less about than you should over the coming months because of Hunter Ace's successes. Okay, look, as excited as I want to get about this start from Norway, they've got the Wild Growth, they've got the second Wild Growth, they've got Nourish. That's exciting, sure. Even Malfurion to curve into, Arcane Tyrant to play for free, whatever. I'm looking at Falula's hand right now. Devil's Sword Egg, Play Dead, Houndmaster Shore, Savannah Highmane into Counter. They are the cards he has in his hand. I've just listed his cards, but what I've also listed are some of the best cards that he could possibly have. And I think this game is potentially going to be an illustration of just how good Death Battle Hunter can be, even against a start as perfect as this one from Norway. Okay, hang on a second, slow down. No, that tips the scales. Forget everything I just said. Norway wins this. Interesting. I'm joking. Let's just see how this race goes now. NTR just absolutely hilarious, but you'll know the threats that could be coming, and they are plentiful as well. Not messing around here. No silence to be worried about, so just get the egg down. Next turn, you can Shore and Play Dead. Hit for 5. NTR literally has drawn all of his ramp cards already. All of them. This is actually silly. Everyone in the deck and Ultimate Infestation. I was completely ready to say, Death Battle Hunter, you know what? You're going to show what you can do against one of the best possible Druid hands. Didn't expect it to get better and better and better. That's what Druid does. That's why it's so silly. Its hands get better because the good cards are in the deck, and if you get the ramp, you can play them. That all being said, Ultimate Infestation isn't playable this turn without an Innovate, and actually Houndmaster Shore, coin Play Dead, charge the 5/5 into the 4/4 isn't looking bad at all. It's looking pretty good. I really hate it when I can't play my Ultimate Infestation on the 4th turn. It just upsets me strongly. 5th turn, I guess. Right, so as you were saying, the play here, everything starts charging, and NTR, he's just frozen in time with how that went down. He was looking pretty happy until then. What's great about this as well is that even if Norway was able to play Ultimate Infestation this turn, they can't actually deal with Houndmaster Shore with it. So it's going to continue to cause a ruckus. Causing a ruckus indeed. Trying to work out if there's any potential mileage in just facing their Shore. But Malfurion is so much better than all that. Not a very easy way of dealing with the poisonous in this deck either. Precisely, hero powering first to get that 1 damage into the Devil's Sword, and yeah, as you said, poisonous. Well, Sound Knight Chain Gang is looking like a good solution to this problem. It is. Braxar would have been even better, obviously. Yeah, I mean, it's not playable because you're not Druid and you don't have 10 mana already, which is ridiculous. Both of these opening hands were just completely insane. Like, both of these hands would have easily won any other game of Hearthstone whatsoever. Yeah. But who is going to win as they slug it out here? Because at some point this will tip against the Hunter, but not yet.
So the issue with Ultimate Infestation this turn is that the 5/5 that gets created can just be traded into by Savannah Jaime, as how Master Shaw stays alive if Ultimate Infestation gets played. That's what Norway are going to be thinking about. Possibly they have to naturalize the Shaw first. Maybe they can nourish, see what they draw, then naturalize. But Ultimate Infestation, as tempting as it is, might not be correct here.
Yeah, I hate it. Always very wary saying that in a line on a cast, but I was looking myself at how difficult this is going to be for them.
Decided to do it though. Ultimately, the pros outweigh the cons, and Moonfire picked up off the top will make it all worthwhile.
My turn is not.
Yep, 5 outs. 21 out of 21 gives you a very good chance of hitting it. Well, 10 outs because you've got 2 of them, effectively. I know the maths is not correct, but it works out around 50-50 if you do the very quick and dirty version.
Okay. Denmark taking their second win there against Argentina.
Yeah, and that's bad news. It's obviously bad news for Argentina. They're 2-0 down, but Argentina not having the best start to this tournament. They were another of the teams we were highlighting as potentially very powerful here.
Yeah.
So a shame to see them going 2-0 down, but it'd be a shame whoever loses that match so early on.
Norway just spoiled for choice here. They could drop the Lich King. It potentially stays alive.
This is a turn where they need to plan how they're going to win the game. Trading and spreading plaguing, for instance, putting some stuff down buys them time. And time might be a thing they need a lot of. But if you're going to do that, do you want to face as the 6/5? Or do you want to be like Malygos combo?
I sort of disagree about the turn argument, because they have 10 mana and Falulor has 6. The more they can do now, the more aggressive a stance they can take now at this point in the game, the more likely they are to win. The more of an aggressive start they can take, while Israel is still lacking the mana to deal with it. So, in terms of running out of time, I think it's the other, or wanting to have more time, I think it's the other way around. I think Norway are running out of time to make these power plays.
Okay, I can see that.
And so they did go for the Lich King. And, ooh, King Crush, Terraskull Stalker, and Spirit Singer Umbra are the choices here.
I love Umbra in this deck.
Not going to make much of a difference this game, unfortunately.
No, it's just such a good 4-drop in the deck. Watch Fino playing quite a lot of that, teammate, of course, of Glazer, and it seems very powerful. Just because the deck doesn't have very good turn 4s outside of Chain Gang, and that's not always the best turn 4. So playing something that has to be dealt with.
The Lich King survived. The aggressive play has paid off, and now Faceless Manipulator is looking like a very real option, getting 2 more Death Knight cards. Can even play Spreading Plague as well this turn. He could start with Spreading Plague and coin out Faceless.
Yeah, he's going to have to do something like that if he goes with the Faceless play, just to make room in hand. Because getting 2 Death Knight cards a turn is lovely and all, but you do need to make sure you make the space for them.
Does he want to, if he's playing a second Lich King, does he want to protect it though? Because the issue is both of the 5/5s could just trade into both of the Lich Kings. So if he naturalizes a 5/5, that means that one of the Lich Kings might survive. Like Faceless naturalize Hero Power the 3/3 is another potential way of just winning the game without even thinking about Malygos.
They've also got to think what to do about this egg, because it could get nasty in a hurry.
It could. That's true.
My turn.
Well, this deals with the short-term version.
All right.
And I think this is one of those plays where they saw this instantly and then thought about what's better and found nothing.
If you can ever Faceless one of your own Lich Kings and you have 2 on the board, it's usually at least worth considering. And although, as I mentioned, Israel can deal with these easily, they're going to have to play around all 3 of these.
Anti-Magic Shell.
An Anti-Magic Shell is potentially the best one in Druid because of Spreading Plague. Double Death Grip. How much does NTR actually want Hunter cards, though?
Yeah, I don't think they're particularly happy about those.
If they were both Death and Decay, it would be a whole other story.
You wouldn't mind King Crush.
King Crush has been discarded by tracking.
Mm.
They don't know this, obviously.
Hard turn for Israel because they've got to factor in 3 Lich King cards. There's a very good chance there's damage of some sort in hand. It'd be incredible if there wasn't. If you count Anti-Magic Shell, Frostmourne, etc. Death and Decay. But this is almost like should be called Big Hunter at times.
Damage available to NTR now with the Anti-Magic Shell. Hero powering up as well would mean that, yeah, would make it 12 damage.
There's some more.
Swipe is now 16 damage. So this would set up a 2-turn kill with Ultimate Infestation next turn. It's not bad, is it?
They've got so much to consider here. It's not bad at all. But obviously Grizzlies are a big threat in terms of just stodging things up, so
A tangled web.
they've got Malygos Moonfire at any point. Can they make anything better out of the Malygos? I think every turn you're looking, can we get Malygos on the board and it stay there?
Yeah, I mean, when you look at it that way, this is as good a turn as any to try and set that up. The issue with the 2-turn lethal setup that I described before is obviously, we can see there's Dusty of the Rexar in the hand, so it doesn't necessarily work. Norway going to go for it anyway, feeling like their chances are high.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a lot to both deal with and to have some sort of attack going on.
But Rexar does it, right? Rexar will assist with the trades whilst gaining 5 armor, meaning that Falila gets to keep his board, deal with the whole of NTRs, and he's just out of lethal range from Ultimate Infestation.
Pew pew pew.
It does mean, though, that if Norway pick up the second Moonfire, then they will just win very soon.
Yeah, and it's another turn where they can't play the Grizzly, of course.
Israel going to be looking for lifesteal from their Builder Beasts pretty urgently. They had the Beetle there as their first choice. I'm not sure if they actually went with it. Yeah, they did.
Yeah, cheap things tend to be good anyway because your cards cost so much. You end up, you want to hero power every turn, you want to play 2 cards every turn, otherwise you're just not getting anywhere fast. Although obviously hero power into good beast every turn is a thing that we've all lost to.
Yeah. But Israel just want anything that gains them health, anything that gains them armor, anything that can get them out of range of Malygos Moonfire plus other turns of hero powers, etc. Norway can hero power Israel down this turn, putting them back down to 6.
Yeah, and starting to run out of ways. They're not running out of ways. This deck doesn't run out of things quickly, but starting to run out of ways to win the game. Obviously, there's plenty more waves of this where this came from. When you're looking on the other side with spreading plagues and such like to stall.
Oh boy. So I said that NTR's hero power now puts Israel down to 6. Ultimate Infestation doesn't deal 6 damage, but Malygos Moonfire does. So again, we have a 2-turn lethal setup available.
My turn is not.
Norway are never dead on board here, so they just go for it.
Yep, seems good. And unless there's some... By not playing a minion as well, they can't be rushed into to lifesteals to activate. So there's something absolutely nuts going on here. Next turn will be fatal.
Falila are going to need to get something... Well, even lifesteal rushes are no good, because there's no minion to rush into.
What are the stats on the Beetle? They're bigger than 2-3, right?
Yeah.
They didn't get a 0-0.
No.
So they can't flanking strike their own Beetle.
No, I think they're 3-4. I think it's a 3-4.
I mean, it's big enough anyway. It's more, you can't get a minion with 0 health.
I think it's a 3-4 plated Beetle that has Wind Fury,
Sounds
actually.
like the sort of minion I'd design. It's called a spell.
No, none of these cards steal life. None of the first 3 did either. Pretty much got the same card again. Life Drinker would have been a card that could get Falila out of this, but none of these do it. And it's looking like NTR, Hunter Race, Zorkthar, and Calbane, between them, managed to get this 3-0 victory. One of the very few 3-0 victories that we've seen in the Hearthstone Global Games. As we see, he picks up Swipe as well, so Swipe hero power, even without the Malygos, would have gotten the job done. Norway have done it. They've managed to get their first win on the board, finishing this Swiss round at 1-1. Israel, Glacier going to struggle now, joining Team USA on 0-2.
Yeah, and They won't want that match next week. I mean, Glazer tweeted this week that this is the team he didn't want, not just because Norway are so good, but because it's a team full of friends, so one of you's going to lose. And those situations in Swiss where you're playing a friend are always bad, because you know you're both hoping to win every single game.
Yep.
And the fact that it's a zero-sum game, one of you wins, one of you loses, is just not good enough when you're trying to get to 4-2. So, depressing week for Israel, fantastic week for Norway.
Yeah, Norway are good. They're in the same position as the United Kingdom. Can't complain about that, right?
Sure.
Maybe they can.
And NTR is on both sides because he put his ball control has got NTR in the middle. So there you go.
I don't know if that's how it works. Let's take a look one more time at the matchup that we just watched and the annihilation of Team Israel by Norway. Hunter beating Shaman, Priest beating Druid, and then Norway's Druid winning the slightly unfavourable matchup against Aliola's Hunter there.
Yeah, when you look at the screen like that, it looks like a massacre, but actually it was a massacre.
I'd just like to remind everyone watching, Wild Growth, Nourish, Ultimate Infestation, and Malfurion and Arcane Tyrant all squeezed into the first few turns.
Let's remind everybody watching of what else went down. That double egg Void Ripper was a big deal, set up from several turns out, and just meant that even though Israel had a decent hand with the Shudderwock, they were just never really looking like getting it done.
No, I mean, they had about as good a hand as they could get. They got all of the tools they needed to complete that combo, but they just weren't able to make it to turn 9. Maybe some more healing would have been helpful.
This play was cool, knowing that they still had to... No, it was the play before where they stole the Alex Straz was cool because they knew they still had to deal with a Malygos later on, but also knew that the minions they put on the board were going to be able to deal with the Malygos, and they still had backup of the Primordial Drake to deal with the Spreading Plague.
And look at just that opening hand. I mean, Hunter's was good as well. Like I said, for all intents and purposes, that Hunter start should have beaten any deck, but that Druid start, I don't think I've seen one like it before in the Hearthstone Global Games.
Yeah, and as you said during the cast here, Norway just trying to get that beat down on very, very quickly, and that's exactly what they managed to do. Setting up the Malygos, took all the pressure off the Malygos like we were talking about, and Malygos having the easiest of jobs just to